even the darkest night will end, and the sun will rise. This is a line engraved in the hearts of those who have come across Victor Hugo's magnus opus Le Miserable. Hello, I am Medha Sara Sam, first year student BA English. In commemoration with Reading Week, I am here to talk about one of my all time favorite books, and I'm sure of many of you out there too. If my memory serves me right, I think it took me around 9 months to complete this book. It forced me to stay up and bawl my eyes out on innumerable nights. The book that we are talking about right here is Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. Starting with the author, remembered as a beloved writer of the people, French Romantic author Victor Hugo knew how to write with simplicity and power about common joys and sorrows. He is best known for his poems and novels, including The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Moving on to the novel, published in 1862 and later reinterpreted as a theatrical musical and a film, Les Miserables remains one of the best-known works of 19th century literature. Victor Hugo penned this masterpiece with the sole aim of exposing and critiquing the social injustice with a focus on the sufferings of poor. Victor Hugo condenses the message of the book in the following way. In every place where man is ignorant and despairing, in every place where woman is sold for bread, wherever the child suffers for lack of the book which should instruct him and of the hearth which should warm him, the book of Le Miserable knocks at the door and says, "Open to me, I come for you." Now, let us take a look at the plot and characters. Le Miserable comprises of 5 volumes, each subdivided into books and further into chapters. Set in the Parisian underworld, the novel follows the fortunes of Jean Valjean, an ex-convict incarcerated 19 years for pilferage. The protagonist suffers in the prison of society as he first starves and acts out of desperation. Jean Valjean is haunted by his past and is pursued relentlessly by the morally strict Inspector Javert. Valjean eventually gives himself up for the sake of his adopted daughter Cosette and her husband Marius. The novel revolves around the main characters Jean Valjean, Officer Javert, Cosette, Fantin, and Marius. Here, each character represents a significant social issue of the time. Hugo developed his own brand of imaginative realism, which in part attributes to the novel's fame. For instance, Jean Valjean represents the degradation of man in the proletariat, Fantin represents the subjection of women through hunger, and Cosette represents the atrophy of the child by darkness. Coming to the major themes, in Les Miserables, Hugo traces the social impact of the numerous revolutions, insurrections, and executions. He points the finger at the towering aspect of poverty that overshadows man's desperate cries. Hugo's emphasis on love is epitomized in Valjean's transformation from a contemptuous criminal into a benevolent father. Throughout the novel, Hugo lays his focus on 3 areas of social life that particularly need reform: education, criminal justice, and the treatment of women. If you are someone who has this book on your reading list or is currently reading the book, this is a spoiler. Le Miserable offers a plethora of instances that will touch the readers. One scene which still resides vividly in my mind is when Jean Valjean and Officer Javert confront each other at the barricades during the revolt of 1832. Jean Valjean had at his mercy the officer who had tried to hunt him down for about 2 decades. It was because of this man that his life had become a sequel of escapades. Yet, when he could effortlessly take his revenge, he chose to set Javert free. Thus, he becomes witness to the triumph of compassion over justice, of mercy over judgment. This instance paves the way for the inspector as well as the so called legislators to ponder over the true meaning of justice. Despite the yellow pages and tattered edges of the 3-inch second-hand book, the cover of Le Misérables spoke a lot. The portrait of an ignorant girl with the shadows of the flag of French Revolution over her face was a welcome delight. The three colors, blue, white, and red, symbolized the nobility, clergy, and bourgeois. It is also, in a way, an inconspicuous symbolization of the protagonist's life. Being only 16 at the time, I found it hard to read consistently. But this particular novel hooked me into its pages. I perceived that this was indeed a book written for all nations and the one that would change my vantage point. The portrayal of unjust humanity and parochial society pierced right through me. I have to confess that I felt my heart race as I ran alongside Jean Valjean gasping for redemption. And the very end, it almost brought my heart to a halt. The sensational novel comes to a close with these lines inscribed on Jean Valjean's tombstone. He sleeps. Although his fate was very strange, he lived. He died when he had no longer his angel. The thing came to pass simply, of itself, as the night comes when day is gone. Winding up the book's review, the reading of this book takes us to French Revolution, complex life of an ex-prisoner, anthropological observations, and above all, the swift power of kindness. Though it is demanding, I would definitely encourage you to read this masterpiece. Wish you a nice reading time. Thank you very much for your listening.